Welcome back to another NCUT movie review, and today we got Scream 7. I literally thought this was an early screening to Scary Movie 6 because this was a parody of itself.
I thought the Wayans brothers were going to come out at any moment. I thought Ray was going to come out from the toilets and the clown was going to be, Uncle Ray Ray's turn.
Uncle Ray Ray's got a game.
Hey, get your finger out of there!
Apparently have the greatest opening scene to Scream that we've ever seen, yet we didn't see it. We missed early bits of this movie. If you have missed it like us, just go watch the trailer.
They started the movie too early. We probably missed the only good part of this whole movie, so that was unfortunate because after that, from then on, it was just downhill and shit.
I honestly think I would rather sit through 3 hours of whatever the fuck Kevin and Costner did called Horizon than... Madam Web had a better storyline than this.
Yeah.
None of this made any fucking sense, and we'll tell you why. There is a specific scene where Sydney apparently now has a new family, and she's moved to Pine Grove, Indiana. We didn't know that. But no one's mentioned this. We're just supposed to know that she's had a family, and this is a big crux of the plot of this movie because her whole point is it was really hard for me to have a kid and really put everything that I've been through onto this girl who basically wants to know who she is, and she's keeping that from her.
Yeah.
So we get into this fucking stupid ass town. We see her stupid ass family. Obviously, Ghostface calls her and comes back, and this guy's like, "What's up?" And she's like, "Okay, this is just another idiot calling me. There's a weird guy looking me at my cafe, which apparently she now owns, which we don't even know of either." Yeah. Just a bunch of fucking lore thrown in here that they're not disclosing to us. And then we get a huge exposition on her past life through this guy, through the random dude calling her on the phone, which apparently is Ghostface. And it turns out to be Matthew Lillard. Shaggy is back. And we get this really weird fight between AI and what's real, like reality. We just don't know. And I think they're just trying to incorporate into modernism at this point, right?
I mean, AI is just infecting everything, right? This is AI.
Which it actually is. Matthew Lillard eventually comes back, calls her, she gets fucking scared as shit. Her and her family go back to her house, and they're running through the house trying to pack so that they can get the hell out of here and be underneath the cop's protection, which, by the way, her husband apparently is a cop.
And dreadful at it.
Chief of police.
But man has at least 1,400 litres of blood inside of his body because he can get stuff like a pig and still survive somehow with no blood transfusions.
But the worst thing...
Shout out to that guy.
But the worst thing before that, Joel McHale, by the way, that's the father. Him and his wife are in the one room, and the daughter is in the other. Jason Tatum, whatever her name is.
Yeah, she's just dropping she just literally had dropped 53 on the Knicks and then coming home and their mum's like, actually the Ghostface killer's my enemy, so we gotta go.
There was one scene where she literally stopped and yelled into the sky, anything is possible.
Anything's possible!
I actually saw her post up Ghostface 1 second and then she faded and then Ghostface just couldn't stop.
And Ghostface sneaks from the attic, which gets cleared by the police before they walk in. The family walks into their own house and they somehow miss the attic somehow because the police don't know how to clear a house.
Why? How would you not sweep the biggest area of the whole house where someone's going to be hiding?
Literally. And you look in every nook and cravy.
Have these guys ever seen a horror movie?
Never. Yeah.
Have they not seen Scream 1 through 6?
It doesn't.
Have they not seen it?
Clearly not. And as he jumps down out of this attic, goes into Tatum's room, holds her at knife point, and first of all, look, this is the first issue that we have with this goddamn movie. He's holding her at knife point. Joel and the wife see this, and he's got a gun posted up at them. Ghostface is standing this far away. Yeah. He's holding her at knife point like this.
He's literally holding her out like a dummy.
Like a dummy. Joel, shoot!
Shoot
that gun! What are you doing?
He throws the gun away. Come on.
Puts it on the ground, kicks it towards him. Does that make any sense to you? He then throws Tatum away, and this is the second thing that gets my blood absolutely boiling, is that Joel and him get into a bit of a fisticuffs. They starts on some lefts and rights. Ghostface gets the upper hand, kicks him down his flight of stairs, and he bangs his head, which looks fine from the first shot. But apparently, some director or some stupid editor at the end of this movie thought, let me add a second shot where we're going to go right down to the floor and watch his head bounce off the canvas. Yeah. Guess what it didn't do? Bounce off the canvas. He hit the floor and placed his head with the clearest reshoot ever. It was like he's falling asleep. It was like it's a fucking King mattress ad where he's looking at his goddamn pillow. Yeah. It was the dumbest shit ever, and the dumb shit just keeps rolling.
That was a plug. King Mattress, that was a plug.
Sponsor us.
But also what continues on the stupidity of this movie, once you see the reveal of who the killers are, when you go back and actually think about the scene where Joel and the killer were fighting each other, the reveal of who it is, how the hell did that person have those moves to be doing that, like, combinations and the reversals and the, like the Tony Ferguson-esque grappling Charles Oliveira. When you get the reveal later on in the movie, you're like, first of all, her dad is about 6'4", and this guy is just throwing this dude like he's nothing. And then you get the reveal, and you're like, You could not have done that.
At all.
At all. And how are they, like, even who got revealed, there was no look of this person that showed that they had any sort of martial arts training, any sort of combat fighting, any sort of training. Like, if Ghostface gets revealed and they're like, oh yeah, it was actually a army veteran or a Navy SEAL, you're like, okay, now I understand.
Makes
the
sense.
reveal, once you see who it is, go back and think about the scene when, or any of the scenes in this movie where Ghostface is fighting someone in a hand-to-hand, and you'll think to yourself, how could he do this? For instance, Lucas. Go back to the Lucas scene. How on earth did my man get picked up like he was a basketball like Shaquille O'Neal and placed? When the killers get revealed, I want you to go back and watch that. If you have the unfortunate future of watching this stupid bloody movie, go back and think to yourself, how the hell did they pick Lucas up?
Unless they are Ronnie Coleman Prime. How
Cinema.
the hell have
Cinema.
they lifted so high? Bro, someone lifted Lucas, who's probably 6 foot himself and 85 kilos, up into the air like he was nothing, like he was a Viltrumite, and just places him on a spike. Sorry to spoil that he died, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Not spoiling, yeah, who cares?
It's true.
But-
right on top of this spike. What the fuck?
And he is clearly taller than both of the
That's so
killers.
true as well.
Because
Yeah.
later in the movie, we see Jason Tatum. She's clearly like being pulled by one of the Ghostface killers. And then at the reveal at the end, where who the Ghostface is, we see that Tatum's taller than both. Then we see that Tatum is taller than the killer. So how the hell did they? You know what I mean?
It also doesn't make sense considering that the director here was, I think, did 1, 2, and 3. So, like, if they've done the originals, you think this guy would be trying to go in that same direction. Yeah, it felt nothing like that. If
No,
you watch
agreed.
the originals, they are so much better than this movie can ever be. And it also doesn't make sense because this movie was fighting a little bit with the nostalgia with so many of the same takes all the time. It was like for like. Scenes for the originals, like which and even Scary Movie shows that too because that's why it looks like for like. And then
What are you waiting for? There's literally that scene in this movie.
What am I waiting for?
What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Fuck you!
But also just trying to make it like
Relevant.
fan service. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like bloodbath. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
How many cool kills can we do? Which apparently the opening scene was the coolest shit, and we didn't fucking missed it. So I'm pissed off about that too.
There
But-
were intricate deaths in this movie, like obviously the death of McKenna Grace's character. Spoiler again, that was kind of intricate, and interesting. I mean, what a horrible fear! You could tell the moment that in that scene when her leg gets caught for the first time when they're doing the rehearsal, you knew for a fact, okay, that's going to be your demise, without a doubt. I mean, the opening scene death also pretty cool. There was a few other ones. There was a few little twists and turns. I guess, you know, her boyfriend, you definitely thought he was going to be a part of it. You thought Lucas was going to be a part of it as well. So in that regard, it still had that idea that, oh, I don't know who's going to be killer, who's not going to be the killer. But the originality of the movie, the trying to do the fan service, also trying to make it feel like the old school with Neve Campbell back in it, and also, of course, the GOAT, Courtney Cox, didn't have it.
Yeah, because having the originals in there, the acting was so fucking mid. These people here just felt like they didn't care what they were doing.
I feel like Courtney Cox is almost like on a joke thing with
Yeah, it
these
has to
movies.
be.
Like, I actually don't even think she's really wanting to be in these films. I think she's purely seeing the paycheck and going, give me that shit,
Yeah.
but I hate my life.
Like Isabella May, who plays Jason Tatum here, she probably gave her like all to this performance,
Yeah.
but you didn't feel anything to the characters. There was no attachment like you have in the originals at all.
Yeah.
And so much so, she doesn't have an attachment to her friends in this movie.
No.
They all get murked, and
Yeah.
she knows that. And one's playing like fucking hopscotch with her goddamn intestine from McKenna Grace, and she doesn't give a shit. She's like, oh, okay, well, she's dead. We'll move on. My boyfriend can't come back to my house. Are you kidding me?
She can't get,
like
she can't get it. She
just wanted to get laid. That's all she wanted to do. And then he gets murked, like Mortal Kombat style. Like Because of her, by the way. And then she doesn't give a shit 5 seconds later. But what she cares about is knowing her mum, which she kind of gets this like little resolve at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But there's one scene here. It is the worst like homage paid ever. They walk up and shoot these killers, and then they go, I'm Sydney Prescott's daughter, motherfucker, or whatever she says, and shoots the killers. Dude, this is so cliche, it couldn't get more like Jason Statham or Arnold Schwarzenegger if you tried.
Yeah.
Like if you really tried.
The only thing I took from that ending scene, which of course, like Josh just said, cliche as fuck, it was borderline cringe. I feel like this is the end of Scream though. The only but to that, the caveat, it's made a lot of money.
Shit ton of money.
So it's probably not going to be over.
I think 100 million in the opening box office, like the opening weekend, sorry.
It did nothing after the opening weekend. Opening weekend it made 70 million. Since then it's only made, I think, less than 100 million. So that's making all its money. But People are still showing out for it, unfortunately. And look, it drew us in as well. We
Yeah.
saw the last two, which sort of reinvigorated the hype around this series. Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrett sort of reinvigorated the series. That was actually a really good storyline where that was going down. Of course, she got de-raised from this plot because,
from the political
you know,
stances,
whatever.
yeah.
Things happen. People
Yeah.
get cancelled. But now that we're back to the originals, it's sort of like, you know.
Yeah. Those two
So,
were
yeah.
like the only ones really carrying the franchise, even though the name itself obviously carries it, considering this made so much money.
Yeah.
But those two were like why people were showing out for most of this, right?
I mean, Mason Gooding and Jasmine Brown were in this film from the last 5 and 6,
Hmm.
but I honestly forgot about 6 minutes into their scene. I was said to Josh, I go, were they in the other one? And he's like, yeah, they were. I completely forgot who they were in it.
Other than that, how the fuck did Joel McHale survive with 18 pints of blood out and 72 stab wounds to his chest?
Why is he
no
not
one knows.
enassing the corners? I mean, has this guy says he's a cop.
Yeah.
And he's walking through, first of all, what building site has so much sheer
Plastic guard
wallpaper?
up, yeah.
Paper. What, why? They're not painting. It's literally still at the framing stage.
Yeah.
They're not like plastering, they're not painting or anything like that. And there's just plastic tarp everywhere in this
yeah.
place. What's going on in there?
I thought it was demonic, like, what's it called? Paranormal activity. Like one of those ones where the
It
kid
was
runs down the
so
basement.
stupid.
It was
And
the
then this
worst.
guy's just like walking through there with a gun, like, I'm just going to walk straight, not worry about like what's going on around here. Guy, first of all, call back up and get out of there.
Yeah. This isn't like before, by the way, Ghostface hasn't terrorized them. He's been there for a
Yeah.
minute and they know he's
They
around.
know. Yeah.
That's even the worst bit about it. That he's fully aware.
Yeah.
And then he gets stabbed. And by the way, he gets stabbed 45 maybe to the head and 72 to the body. And he still manages to survive only to cut his daughter's...
Free.
Yeah, free because she's wrapped around... her ankles are wrapped around a chair. That's the only reason for his whole survival.
And he has no blood left. He has no blood left in his body.
He's
whatsoever.
a reptile. At this point, he's vamp or reptile.
Vampire, nationalist, mental retard, eugenicist, a scared man. Really? Retard.
Also, another thing, where they're trying to make this movie feel like it's modern day. They're trying to make it feel more to younger audiences rather than going for the nostalgic feel for the fans, fan service. Jason Tatum is in a room and her mum decides to call her. By the way, Sydney could have made it. If she kept running, she could have made it to the cafe.
Not only
but
that-
she decides to stop running and is like, I'm going to call you Jason.
Yeah.
And I can't get you. I can't. The scene goes for another 25 minutes. You could have got there.
Yeah, easily. Also, if she didn't have the keys apparently to fucking Gale Weatherstorm Thunderstorm's car, so she instead of going her back into
Yeah,
the
to get Gale.
she does to get the keys. She decides to run. She
Yeah.
checks it's not opening, and she just checks to run out. Sydney, you've been in fucking 3 movies prior to. Know how to kill the killers.
How does she keep surviving? She should be long gone, dead. And so Jason gets a phone call. The ringer. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. Okay, no one under the age of 35 has their phone on outdoor anymore. Get with the program.
Yeah.
Get with the times, people.
Yeah.
And then her mum is giving her like shout outs.
Yeah,
You know,
advice.
She's got the
Yeah.
UAV and her mum's just giving her shout outs on the camera saying, shoot through the wall. He's out there. Go out there. Shoot him in the head. And she doesn't do it.
No.
And so she shoots through the wall, and she thinks she gets this guy. She can't hit a target from 2 meters in front of her. Yet she thinks she can ENAS this guy through the wall, like CS:GO, like Pixies. She
Literally.
can't actually do that. So then she goes out there, and her mum goes double tap. Make sure you double tap.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like walk past him, and not even double tap this guy in the head.
And the worst thing as well is that she was barricaded in an office that he was not going to get into.
No.
And she decides to move, like you watch her, the scene goes for 35 seconds of her moving just purely the fucking furniture from the fucking door. That's
Call
it.
the cops. Tell them to come over here while you're barricaded inside. This is the second time she leaves the safe room in this movie. So Jason Tatum, get out of there. You deserve to die.
100%. Also, let's wrap this review up with a goddamn rating. It is getting nothing from me. I don't want to watch this shit ever again. It's not even a popcorn film. It's not even a part of the franchise. I'm happy to call this a standalone, and let's move on.
Go watch Scary Movie 1, 2, or 3. They're way better.
I agree. Also, go watch the new 6th one that's coming out soon.
Nah, it's
We'll
too
be reviewing
demonic.
that.
It's too demonic. Nah, probably will.
So if you guys enjoyed the review, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. There's also a hype button. 3 times you can click that only on mobile. I found out it's not anywhere else.
Hype that shit up because we're actually in purgatory right now. So, you know, let us know that we're actually being seen.
Anyway, peace. We out.
Peace.
And cut.